and around the perimenopause, people describe it as the wheels start to fall off. Things that they were coping before really aren't coping, and start to think maybe they would meet criteria for a diagnosis. And in the workplace, it's these stats here. So 44% of people say that the menopausal symptoms affect their work. 10% of people leave their job due to menopausal symptoms. 14% reduce their hours. 8% don't apply for promotion due to the symptoms. And shockingly, 1 in 6 perimenopausal women report suicidal thoughts. In the workplace, there has been a huge increase in tribunal cases, twice the number of autistic and like 8.5 times ADHD tribunal cases since 2020. Currently, it's recommended for menopausal support is a recommendation in the workplace, but from April 27, organisations that have more than 250 people, it's going to be illegal to have a proper whole sort of array of things in place for menopausal symptoms. Yes, my name is Gillian Rogers. I'm a former GP, but I am still a member of the Royal College of General Practice. And I have set up Autism Arena to support families of neurodivergent children, but really we sort of branched out a bit, and we're supporting adults with the new diagnosis and sort of giving workplace neurodiversity training as well. And I have an acquired neurodivergence following a stroke, which was so it's a higher functioning sort of cognitive and processing centres that took my stroke. So I actually most align with an autistic sort of profile, I would say. I didn't realise that because I've had a lot of occupational therapy myself, sort of with the stroke rehab team. And it was only when I went to the autism show in Manchester as part of Autism Arena that I suddenly clocked that after all these interventions as I was having, that actually, if I just thought of myself as being autistic and putting in place the strategies that I was putting in place for my autistic son, then actually life is so much easier for me. There's a 26-second clip here that Judith Mooring just says here, and I just think this sums it up perfectly.
People with ADHD who are also anxious tend to do better because the anxiety tightens the screw of focus. An awful lot of people with ADHD will use stress in order to focus. But then when you come into menopause, your estrogen levels drop, so do your serotonin and dopamine levels. So you're left with less serotonin, less dopamine, and you're less able to focus, and you're more anxious. And that's when you tip into this crisis. And the strategies that you used before no longer work because the biological landscape has changed.
Dr. Judith Mooring is a Cambridge-educated psychiatrist.
When I remarried at the age of 28, I was gifted my very first hot flush, along with a great big badge with a number 50 on it, just in case I forgot. Enter perimenopause, and the start of a voyage of self-discovery that I had no idea I could go on. I started to realise that all of my most useful abdication strategies, and even wearing my faithful "I am a fully functioning adult" mask, just weren't working anymore. The strategies were failing. They weren't just starting to show cracks. It was like they'd developed full-blown subsidence. My foundations were crumbling, and it felt like my brain was crumbling with them.
So yeah, it is a complete tsunami. It's when we've got neurodivergent brain mixing with perimenopausal fluctuating random hormones swinging all over. It is chaotic, and people maybe don't know what to expect, and how things can change without notice as well. Like, if I am feeling great, then that's when I should be doing my complex thinking, problem solving, creating work. Not spending, when I'm feeling like that, not doing the admin and the routine tasks. That should be saved when my energy levels are really low. And it's just sort of thinking about how we sort of manage our capacity and actually sort of being a little bit more flexible and just sort of understanding what capacity we've got. And if we are actually feeling quite overwhelmed and really don't have much energy, then actually just taking away, doing those little admin things, organisation, actually improves productivity because you've got that done. It's really validating for women to start to think that actually, yeah, I'm not going mad. Actually, there's a reason for this.